Das ist der Journalist. Genau. Zu dem Priester wollten wir noch.
You are blinded by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine, unable to see the true horror around you.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reid, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Ja, sicher. So einer wirklich, der nicht an die Wissenschaft glaubt. Okay.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean?
All science.
Quite a judgment.
But you are seeking...
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Was? Wieder hier alles abfackeln? Der Typ ist auch nicht ganz dicht im Kopf.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Okay, wieder eine Entscheidung. Die Wissenschaft ist unsere einzige Hoffnung. Doch wo ziehen sie die Grenzen? Wir leben im 20. Jahrhundert. Puh. Keine Ahnung. Ist eigentlich alles dasselbe, oder nicht? Im Grunde. Wie machen wir das?
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Also der Typ, der will echt alles abfackeln. Genau, das hatte ich schon.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
Neue Aufgabe. Alles klar.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Der Typ spinnt doch. Was haben wir jetzt noch für eine Quest gekriegt? Okay, ich mache jetzt einmal die Hauptquest. Kann ich hier, wo geht's hier lang? Okay. Da gehe ich jetzt noch nicht hin. Da kann ich rein. Gehe ich gleich mal. 2 Unbekannte.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reid, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Okay, von ihm haben wir noch
Goodbye,
nichts.
Mr. Peterson.
Take a look, don't be afraid. Cheap price, good quality. Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Ja, neuer Händler.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Wieder eine Entscheidung. Sie ist eine gute Schwester. Klar, beschuldigen sie die Migranten. Sie versucht nur zu helfen. Ich mach mal das.
So she's trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Und eine neue Quest.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Okay, hier noch keine Hinweise. Was haben wir denn eben von dem gesehen? Okay, wird erpresst. So,
Right then. Show me what you have.
mal schauen. Was ist das denn? Aluminiumfragment, Aluminiumpulver, Feder, eines Abzugs, eines guten Griffs, gewöhnlicher Griff. Okay. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich irgendwas davon brauche. Reden wir mit ihm nochmal.
You again? What do you want this time?
Okay, können wir ihn nicht damit konfrontieren. Ah, da.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Und wieder eine Entscheidung. Überleben ist ein Naturgesetz. Sie hätten sich weigern können. Wir sind ein Krimineller. Sie hätte sich weigern können.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
So. Da kann man nicht hin. Hier geht's zur Quest. Da will ich noch mal eben in den gucken, was hier drin ist.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reid, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Petersens Haus. Zack. Vor den Augen haben wir geklaut.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Mal gucken, was es hier so gibt. Mal, wir lügen den Jungen an, wir beklauen ihn. Hier haben wir nichts.
It's locked, all right.
Professionelle Vampirjäger. Wenn Sie vermuten, dass jemand ein Vampir ist, versuchen Sie nicht, ihn zu töten. Sie haben keine Chance. Melden Sie sich lieber bei mir oder informieren Sie einen professionellen Vampirjäger. Diese Männer und Frauen sind selten, aber sie wissen, wie man mit diesen bösartigen Wesen umgeht. Es scheint auch so, als würden einige von ihnen unter dem Namen Wache von Priven zusammenarbeiten. Diese paramilitärische Organisation hat sich der Ausmetzung aller Vampire in London verschrieben. Sie sind ihre Freunde. Sie sind nicht allein. Es gibt Lösungen. Seien Sie schlau. Verbreiten Sie die Kunde. Clarence Crossley. Melden Sie sich für weitere Informationen direkt bei mir. Absagebrief. Sehr geehrter Mr. Peterson, es ist leider meine Pflicht, Sie darüber in Ketten zu setzen, dass wir Ihre Bewerbung für die Stelle in der Werft ablehnen müssen. Ich danke Ihnen dafür, dass Sie uns im Gespräch die Schwierigkeit Ihrer Lage mit Ihrem kranken Sohn und Ihrer verstorbenen Gattin erläutert haben. Es ist jedoch ein ausdrücklicher Teil unserer Firmenpolitik, keine ehemaligen Verbrecher oder Häftlinge anzustellen. Ihre unseligen Verbindungen zu den berüchtigten Wet Boot Boys wurden ordnungsgemäß berücksichtigt. Dies sind schwere Zeiten, Sir. Und Finch und Harper berücksichtigt zuerst jene Bewerber, die unseren flüchtigen Nachforschungen über unsere zukünftigen Mitarbeiter genügen. Sie haben ein tief empfundenes Mitgefühl. Möge Gott Ihnen und Ihrer Familie gnädig sein. Hochachtungsvoll, R.D. Harper. Okay, ein Hinweis noch.
It's locked.
Schlüssel kriegen wir bestimmt von dem Peterson. Wenn wir den ausgesaugt haben, beziehungsweise getötet haben. Jetzt reden wir erstmal mit dem Sohn.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Ja, sieht doch nicht gerade sehr gesund aus. Ein bisschen blass um die Nase. Er ist erschöpft.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Okay, 2 von 3 haben wir jetzt schon. Du hast ein Zuhause. Deine Lage könnte schlechter sein. Dein Vater hat sein Bestes getan. Es könnte schlimmer sein.
This place is awful, I agree. But does that not mean your situation can only improve?
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reid. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Also da war ich eben.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reid. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Okay.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Reden wir nochmal mit dem Vater.
You again? What do you want this time?
Ah, die beiden haben wir jetzt schon mal.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. People won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid. Cheap price, good quality.
Gucken, was es hier so gibt. Achso, das ist hier mit dem Unterschlupf. Ah, Ratten.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Komm, eine Ratte, glaube ich, noch. Und dann haben wir...
I have this.
Ah, Blut ist schon korrekt. Ach, korrekt.
for
Schon
blood.
komplett. So, nochmal eben gucken, ob wir was hochleveln können. Nochmal eben an dem Tisch gucken, ob wir irgendwie jetzt... Oder was wir für das alles brauchen. Codein. Hier können wir nochmal was gegen Erschöpfung herstellen. Haben ja viele Leute. Ein paar Mal. Gegen Erkältung. Auch zweimal eben was machen. Kriege ich eine Glasfiole. Ja. So, dann gucke ich nochmal, ob ich eben leveln kann. sieht im Gesicht aus, ey, als ob er wirklich schon ein Toter wäre. 720 EP haben wir. Ach ja, das wollte ich ja nochmal eingesetzt haben. Hier, den Schattenschleicher. 600 EP. Ja, mach ich noch ein bisschen Gesundheit höher. ...120 EP... ...braucht man immer so 300, ne? Ja. Okay, hier hat sich nichts geändert. Guck mal, wie die alle erschöpft sind. Kälte, Migräne, erschöpft.